Hi and welcome to City Life, the show that brings you an alternative look at what the UK's major cities have to offer. Today we're in Glasgow, considered one of the UK's trendiest cities. In tonight's show we'll be looking at the new art scene in Chez Camille, checking out retro fashion at Mr Ben's and chilling out in Mono, a hub for live music and great food.
Glasgow is often thought of as Scotland's unofficial capital and attracts 3 million tourists a year. The people of Glasgow are famous for their friendliness, their sense of humour and of course their accents. However, today we're going to show you some of the city's hidden delights. So Cass, where are you off to first?
I'm way to Mr Ben's, so I'll catch you at the end of the programme.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye!
Started about 10 years ago when I had collected so much vintage clothing that I ran out of space to store it. I thought, what on earth am I going to do with this? So I decided to open up a shop. In Mr Ben we tend not to try and compete with the high street. We don't have to compete with the high street simply because our customers have a very individual sense of style. Coming into vintage clothes shops like this, they don't want to look high street, so we just try and be as different as we possibly can, and that's really not a terribly difficult thing to do, to be honest with you. In Mr Ben we've had a few celebrity shoppers, but I'm not naming any names. Lots of famous bands, lots of famous actors, lots of famous actresses. It really is, sometimes it's surprising. You're just standing there behind the desk and suddenly you're presented by Hollywood stars, you name it, they've all been in here. We've got a very wide and varied range. We go from the earliest garment, 1780, right up to the 1980s. We do the full gamut, and we do a lot of male and obviously female as well. You're guaranteed to see something that you've never seen before. You're guaranteed to try on something you've never tried before. It's just fun, that's what it is, just a fun place to visit in Glasgow and different. That's why you should come.
Well, I'm sold on retro fashion at Mr Ben's. I wonder what the people of Glasgow think.
Being a visitor as well, you really notice the style that's prevalent in, like, for instance, like let's say it's the 80s kind of look that everyone's wearing, and you really notice it here, whereas in Canada it's far more casual.
I love vintage clothing, I think it's great. Love the old 60s and 70s stuff.
If it's okay quality, then you'd be as well buying it than buying new stuff that's kind of all the same.
I think especially students and things are getting into their second-hand shops and things, and there's quite a lot of individual styles going about.
I buy clothes that I quite like, and I just happen to like sort of old looking clothes. You know, I like the fact that they've got a lot of character to them, and I feel that sometimes when you wear new clothes you have to break them in. With vintage clothes you just buy them as they are and you kind of carry it on. With
wearing vintage you're looking for something that's really unique and unusual, and one of a kind generally as well, not everywhere or not mass produced.
Quite a positive response there. It just goes to show that shopping in Glasgow is not just about the big high street names, but also the smaller, independently owned stores like Mr Ben's. I wonder how Adam's getting on in Mono.